Hello, everyone. This is Coach Tim Campsall, and I'm excited to have a fellow business owner with us today. Something unique about my guest is that he once fasted for 14 days straight, only drinking water and coffee. In his downtime, he likes to watch sports, be active with his kids, and try new restaurants with his wife. And he's most proud of two things. One, on the business side, 17 years that his company and team have made an impact, and personal on the personal side, his family. It is my pleasure to welcome Chad to the show today. Hi, Chad.
Hey Tim, thanks for having me.
Well, hey, I'm excited to hear your story today. So let's start with having you introduce yourself. Tell us your full name as well as a bit of your personal story, like where you were born and live and about your family.
Sounds good. I can do that. So my name's Chad Frazell. I am born and raised in the Indianapolis area. Went through all my schooling through high school in the Indianapolis area. Went to Zionsville High School. Went to Purdue University for college after high school, up in God's country, West Lafayette. For any of those IU fans that might be listening. Um, got a degree in sales and marketing, left school in 2007, actually started out my career as a stockbroker with Charles Schwab, which is very different than what I do now.
Yeah.
But the timing wasn't great. It was 2007, 2008 when the market
Oh,
kind of
oh.
crashed. Yeah, and so didn't stay very long as a 21-year-old kid talking to people about, losing their life savings. That was not that was trial by fire, that's for
Right.
sure.
Yeah.
So I did that for a little while and then got involved with the founder of our company, the Web Guys, Roger. And I've been here ever since. It's actually pushing 18 years now, and the company itself about 20. So we've been doing this a little while.
Yeah, fantastic. And tell us about your family.
So I'm married to my lovely wife, Holly. We have two kids, 6-year-old Alex, 5-year-old Jack, and we have our firstborn, which is our pup named Cash. So we've been together for many years now. We live in Keystone area in Indianapolis. But yeah, definitely big family man.
Yeah, wonderful. So 14 days of fasting. What was that all about?
It was during COVID,
Oh.
so everybody was losing their minds, and I apparently did too because I haven't done it since. But I needed. I was just. I had read some stories about how there's some health and
Yeah.
physical benefits to doing some fasting, and I saw some challenges online. And that was also a period of time where I was watching a lot of TV shows like Naked and Afraid and Alone, survival shows, and
Yeah.
these people are talking about how they've gone days and weeks without eating, and I thought, well, I can do that, and it's COVID, so why not? So I did it. I went 14 days, drank water and coffee, and that's it. First couple of days were rough. The middle, 7, 8 days were actually really good. It was
Okay.
strange.
Yeah.
A lot of mental clarity, got the best sleep of my life, and got to like day 10, and then that's when I think I was truly hungry at that point. But I
Nice.
made it. So,
Good for you.
yeah,
So coffee black, no cream or sugar?
always. Yeah, and I'm not a big sugar and coffee or sugar and creamer person in my coffee. I really just want to get it in my body as quick as I can.
Love it. So Chad, is there a funny story your family likes to tell about you that you'd be willing to share?
Yeah, so I've got two, and they both happened pretty close on the same night. So when my wife Holly was pregnant with our son, number one, I almost set the house on fire. Um, Number two, I decided that the right time to clean the oven for the first time ever was like an hour before we needed to go to the hospital and get induced and have our son. So
Oh,
number one, our grill caught the house on fire because we didn't clean out the grease trap. So
okay,
my
yeah.
wife and I, and she's, 8 months pregnant, and we're trying to put that out. We
Oh
got that taken
no.
care of. And then later on in the night, I'm a little anxious. I'm getting a little nervous and said, Holly, I'm gonna go clean the oven out. And so
Yeah,
I'm doing that while she's thinking it might be time to go have our second baby. So
yeah, yeah.
I'll never live that one down, that's for sure. And for the record, I've never cleaned an oven since. So
So When you weren't successful burning the house down from the outside grill, you decided to try to do it from the inside oven.
I was trying to prevent it from happening on the inside by cleaning the
There,
oven
oh
out.
yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
Right.
see,
Yeah,
I was forward thinking,
yeah.
it was really for everybody else.
So, Chad, tell us, how did the business come about, and at what point did you have the confidence that you could run a business?
Well, let's see. So if we go way back when, the company was originally, the Web Guys was founded by Roger Larondo, who I had met through interning at a company called Odessa in Indianapolis when I was in college.
Hmm.
And he started the company. It was a different version of the company then, and we had stayed in contact after my internship. And um, once he had heard the story about my challenges in the stock market, because of the economy,
Yeah.
he had just kept saying, "Hey, there might be something here for you." And,
Oh, wow.
so after maybe a year or so of this kind of dance or this courting that we did, I said, I want to be done being a stockbroker, and I joined the Web Guys. And I've been with the company ever since. I'm now one of the owners, president of the company. And I've been doing this with Roger, ever since. So it's been a long road, a lot
Yeah.
of ups and downs, mostly goods. But yeah, big picture, that's how we were started.
Yeah. Very cool. And then the going from employee to buying into ownership, what gave you the confidence that that you could do that? You could run the business as an owner.
Yeah. That happened pretty quickly. So early on in the company, we were going through some of the initial challenges that a lot of,
Yeah.
companies face in the first couple of years of being
Yeah.
in existence. Roger approached me with that opportunity, and I took advantage of it. I invested in the company itself, with money, with cash,
Yeah.
infusion, and then also with, time and effort and services. I'd always had interest in entrepreneurship and business. I come from a family where a lot of folks, have been involved in a lot of different things, a lot of realtors. My father owned an engineering company in the city for many, many years. My sister the same. So I've been around a lot of that. And I
Yeah.
always knew that it was something I wanted to do, and a little bit serendipitous, but it was great timing it was unfortunately great timing that the stock market dropped so that I could get in
Yes.
business with Roger,
Yes.
bind to the company, and then grow what we've grown. So, um, yeah, I've just always had a lot of confidence in myself as well, and it felt right at the time. This was before I was married, before I had kids.
Uh-huh.
So if you're going
Sure.
to take risk, that was the best
Yeah.
time to kind of take a risk. So,
Indeed. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. So, interning at a web company to become a stockbroker, that's an interesting path.
Well, it's actually interning at an auto auction to
Oh,
becoming a stockbroker. It was. So I went to Purdue, and I got a degree in sales and marketing,
yeah.
and left that, joined Charles Schwab as my first job out of school. Um, I thought it was going to be more sales and marketing focused. It turned out it was more like I actually got Series 7 and 63 certified. So I
Okay.
was actually a stockbroker, like
Yeah.
making trades. And
Yeah.
um, so yeah, quickly I realized it just wasn't for me. I wanted to spend my time in a smaller company
Yeah.
where I could directly see the impact on small business. And
For sure.
um, so yeah, I made that switch, and that's where I ended up. But I definitely didn't have a marketing background for sure. I've learned that, through trial and error and on the job experience.
So, Chad, tell us more about the company. Say the name again. What do you guys do? How do you help people?
So our company's the Web Guys. We're a digital marketing agency. As a part of that, we pretty much do any and everything web design and digital marketing related that a small business might need to improve their visibility online, drive traffic, drive leads, help them grow their company, manage efficiency. If it's digital, we do it.
Mhm.
And the goal is primarily to help small and some medium-sized companies, mostly service businesses,
Okay.
a lot of professional service companies, home services, a lot of the companies in the auto space as well.
Okay.
But yeah, if we try to make sense of the internet and the digital world for a lot of small business owners
Yeah.
that they provide a good service. They're busy with what they're doing, but they don't necessarily have the time at the end of the day to
Fair.
become experts on Google. So
Fair. Yeah.
our job
So,
is to help them with that.
what would you say is your the thing that either makes you unique or different or stands out versus the other players in the marketplace?
So I'll give you the cliche answer first,
I love it.
and then I'll give you, a more down-to-earth practical response to that. Results, our websites and our marketing plans do really well in terms of lead generation, and that is a gap for most companies,
Yes.
consistently bringing in leads,
Yes.
keeping them coming in, as well as the right type of leads that they want for the services that they provide.
Hmm.
Now, every marketer is going to say that, so
Mm.
that's the cliche answer. I can back that up with all the examples,
Yeah.
but I won't bore you with that right now. But the other thing that I think is different about us and sets us apart is we are very practical from a marketing standpoint. We're analytical and data driven. We're going to
Mm.
tell you what we think, whether you like it or not. We're not
Yeah.
going to sugarcoat it.
Awesome.
And I do think that's rare, especially in the marketing world where everybody seems to have the silver tongued answer in response to everything. And like, you could even say that what I'm saying right now is that, but it is the truth. We tell people what they need to hear and not what they want to hear. And we try to boil down everything that we do from a marketing and lead generation standpoint into actionable items that are practical for a small business owner and not just the sexy things that you hear about on
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. That's awesome. I love that because um, marketing is hard, right? Lead gen is hard. There isn't
yes.
a silver bullet, even though there are a lot of ads that are touting the silver bullet that they have. I like your practical approach and honest approach of, hey, like here's the real deal, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I appreciate that. And it makes it much easier to sleep at night. It lets you know that, you're treating people the right way. And
Mm.
and ultimately at the end of the day, I'd rather our team and the businesses we work with be really, really, really good at a couple things that impact marketing and lead gen versus trying to do all the things where it's unlikely you're going to be consistent and have a process. And
Yeah.
so generally speaking, I find that that produces the best results for 80 to
Awesome.
90% of people.
Yeah. The other thing that you mentioned analytics, and so I think the stat is something like 80% of marketing fails. Just unfortunately, nobody knows which 80% because most people aren't tracking it, right? And testing it and doing the analytics. So they just have to keep spending the money because they don't know, which one to keep and which one to get rid
Yeah.
of. So is it fair to say with the analytics that you're digging into that kind of stuff to understand what's actually driving the results and testing and
Yeah.
measuring for your clients?
Yes, absolutely. And I think that is a big gap. And you'd think that in 2025 it would be commonplace to look at it in that level of detail. Unfortunately, it's easier to not.
Yeah.
Um, but there's so much technology in place these days that makes it really easy to see where your marketing money is going, see what it's generating in terms of traffic, and more importantly, leads. Because
Yeah.
a lot of folks report on vanity metrics, is what we call
Hmm.
them, like
Yep.
like traffic. Like that's great. You increase your traffic by 1,000, but how many qualified leads did you actually generate that are
Yes.
quality?
Yes.
So
Yes.
yes, proper tracking and being able to report on the marketing campaigns that you're doing is critical. Otherwise, how do you know what's working and what's not, and how do you
Yeah.
pivot and adjust and don't get left
Yeah.
behind when things change?
Yes. You're my kindred spirit. That's what we teach our clients is if you can't track the return on investment, then it
Hmm.
doesn't make sense because to your point, the vanity metrics, like who cares how many likes or shares you have or website visits? It's how many people booked a
Hmm.
call or a discovery call or ask for a
Yeah,
quote and how many of those people are actually coming on board.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. I think it drives me crazy because the analytics and the data and the traffic and stuff like that, it has to be directionally accurate and good, and it's a good
Mhm.
indicator of things moving in the right direction.
Sure.
But
Yep.
at the end of the day, you're paying a marketing company to give you opportunities and at bats at business, not paying us to sell. That is a hill
Yep.
I will
Correct.
die
Yep.
on.
Yep.
But you're paying a marketing company to give you better opportunities and more opportunities and
Yep.
actual conversations, not
Yep.
just I got 10,000 impressions. Well, yeah, that has some value, but at the end of the day, for small businesses, in my opinion, it's all about lead generation.
Yeah. 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 It's a good distinction too, because that for bigger, like for Pepsi or Coke, they can afford, right, to be doing impressions and brand marketing and
Yeah.
and right and awareness and stuff. But small businesses, right? Every dollar counts. They have to get the lead. So yeah, I
Oh,
like
big time.
that.
Big
That-
time. And I love what you just said because it's like, that there's a set marketing budget and small businesses have, generally speaking, a smaller budget than the Pepsis and the Cokes of the world.
yeah.
It's not about just, a shotgun approach or like throwing it at a wall and hoping it sticks. It's we have to allocate this money in the most impactful way to generate leads. And so I get frustrated personally at times when like the new sexy thing comes out and
Uh-huh,
everybody's
yeah.
talking about it like it's going to change the world. But hey, let's do the basics right first with consistency, and then you'll see impact, and then you'll have more money to do the sexy things. So
Yeah.
like the AIs and the social
Yes.
posting and all that good stuff. So
Yeah, I think the sexy things get the attention because again, marketing is hard, right? And so
mhm.
if there's this idea that maybe there's a silver bullet, then maybe I'll just spend some money on that and see if it's true, right? And then
Yeah.
oh crap, it's not true either.
Yep. And then you're back to the drawing board
Yeah.
and it's the same conversation that you've been having. So
Yeah. Hey,
yeah.
Chad, we know that successful businesses can get stuck at various stages of their growth journey. So tell us about
Mm.
your biggest challenge and how you worked through it.
Which one? I mean,
Right?
I don't think a business is doing it right if they don't have various challenges. It means if they don't, then it means that you're not pushing the envelope
Hmm.
and trying new things. And some of it you can control and some of it you can't. But
Right. Yeah.
um, I think that's a part of growth is dealing with challenges and getting out of your comfort zone. We've had various challenges over the years. Early on, it was getting business, In the
Hmm.
very beginning, it was convincing people that the internet was, God, this sounds weird to say because it's 2025 and I'm talking about back in 2006, but that internet and digital marketing mattered to small businesses and they couldn't just
Right.
rely on the yellow pages.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and that was just in 2006, which is crazy to think about.
Yeah.
So initially it was, yeah, making enough sales,
Mhm.
retaining enough customers,
Yeah.
make payroll, keep the lights on.
Sure.
And then it transitioned to scaled growth and growing efficiently and the right type of customers and, saying
Hmm.
no to things that might not make sense for you or them.
Yeah.
Um, we've had challenges with, growing the company from a resource perspective and like employee team member
Oh, sure.
perspective,
Yeah.
how do you want to grow? Do you want to, what structure are you going to go with?
Mhm.
There's just a plethora of challenges. I think the hardest one, and this has been going on since the start though, is the environment around us is changing, especially with the internet, and it's
Yeah.
rapidly changing at such a fast pace.
Sure.
It's
Yeah.
only going to increase with AI. That it seems like every 3 to 6 months, some new process or strategy that we've now put into place that we know
Mm.
works based on the data
Yeah.
suddenly has to be changed again
Mm.
because of XYZ being introduced, because of ChatGPT, because of Google's Gemini,
Right.
because of
Right. Yeah.
so it's just the constant flux and change, which is okay, but I think it leads to some change fatigue within the organization. It's just
Mm.
constant changing. So I would say that's one of the biggest challenges we've got is yes, the changing in the industry is a lot, but the changing and how it impacts the team and the company,
Sure.
it can be tiring.
Yeah. Well, I would think it's even more of a challenge because again, your focus on results and the focus on analytics. So, right, you have to prove out the new thing can
Mm,
deliver the results before you're able to pass it on to your clients.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's 100% true. It's a fine line between like resting on the laurels of what we know works and has worked, while also still showing that we are caring about the future and where things are going, and we're not going to be left behind, so our customers aren't going to be left behind.
Right. Yeah.
But also reassuring them that the old process still works. We just need to refine and tweak it and make it better.
Right.
So,
Yeah. Fair enough. Wow.
yeah,
Yeah, that's a lot. Huh. So,
it is.
I mean, it in general, right? Things change and businesses have to adapt and pivot. But your industry, there's been a lot of changes in a very short period of time.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean AI, you're talking about AI. Mostly everything is driven by that at this point. It's also
Yeah.
the sexy thing.
Yeah.
So with some real truth to it too though. So this one feels different.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
Man, that's a tough topic to bring up. I would tell you that from a digital marketing perspective for small businesses, I don't think AI is replacing digital marketing agencies because you still need the human
Yes.
brain
Absolutely.
to think through strategy and intent and things like that. However, what it is doing for sure is it's making everybody far more efficient.
Hmm.
It is a heck of a tool if used properly.
Yeah.
I think that marketers that don't utilize AI in their business and in their strategies will be left behind because it's too powerful of a tool not to.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't think it's replacing agencies, nor do I think most small businesses want to just start using AI and do all their marketing themselves because you still have to think through
Yeah.
how it all connects.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
And that
Now is
it's
that, oh, go
actually
ahead.
and that it's actually correct because there's a lot of times I'll ask, chat GPT something and it'll give me a 100% lie. And then I'm like, hey, that's a
Yeah,
lie.
100%. Hey, ChatGPT, that's a lie. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, there's a lot of similarities between ChatGPT and just Google's traditional algorithm.
Sure.
It has to pull information and data from different sources, and it's
Yeah.
just trying to determine what's trusted and not.
Yeah. Fair.
But ChatGPT, while it's AI and it's really, really smart, still is getting data from other places that may not be vetted.
Yes.
So you have to take it with a grain of salt, like you
Yeah.
said, but not be scared of it either because it is so powerful and efficient. So that's kind of how we're taking things with
Yeah.
AI with our agency. So we're
Love it.
we're utilizing it as a tool. It's helping us, making us more efficient, making us
Yeah.
more powerful. But it's not replacing, I don't think by any means.
Yeah. I love the that you still have that human aspect because somebody still has to be able to look at the data and go, does this make sense? Right? Or
Yeah.
is this logical? Yeah.
Yeah, and that actually takes me back to something you asked about earlier. The other thing that separates us and makes us different is, besides being very practical and logical, is, um, we're going to tell people that, and not be afraid and not just say, hey, yeah, AI, 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 this is the
Yeah.
most important thing. Like, this is what's going to take your business to the next level. It's going to be more like, hey, it's a tool. We're utilizing it on your behalf. We're going to use it to make us better, to make you better,
Yeah.
but it's not a magic bullet like you said either. So
I like that you mentioned efficiency, right? It probably allows tasks that used to take hours to take minutes, right? But that just allows you to provide more value to your clients, right?
100%. And that's spot on. If some of the more, I don't want to say, well, repetition, the
Yeah.
tasks that are more repetition based,
Yeah.
you can have AI do that, and knock that stuff out. It's black and white work. It's either
Yep.
right and it's done or it's not.
Yep.
But then it allows our folks to be able to have more meaningful conversations,
Yep.
be thought leaders, actually have
Absolutely.
action items and ideas and not just focus on the little things that have to get done, but
Yeah. Fair enough. Yeah.
don't really bring the value.
Absolutely. So we know success doesn't happen in isolation. So Chad, I'm going
Mm.
to put you on the spot a little bit, ask you to pick three people in your business owner journey that you're most grateful for them being there to help with your business's growth. So who are those three people and how they help you?
Ooh, you are putting me on the spot. I don't think this was in, I don't think I was prepped for this one. So, well, I mean, ultimately, it does all start with Roger. He started the company, he had the vision. He's still
Yeah,
super active with us in the company today from a strategy perspective, big picture planning perspective. He's a little bit older, so than myself.
sure.
Not old, just older. But because of that, he has a ton of a wealth of business knowledge that. I've been with the web guys for 18 years. A lot of my learning has been on the fly,
Yeah,
a lot of the mistakes and a lot of the wins.
sure.
So having him lead the team and with myself now and it's been invaluable. So Roger would be one. Within the company, there's two other folks that have been with us for a very long period of time. I'm gonna get the years wrong, but I think Chad Smith, there's another Chad.
Okay.
He's going to kill me for this, but he's Chad number two. I'm Chad number
Well, it is
um,
your interview, so yeah, that makes sense.
get your own interview, Chad Smith, and then you can be Chad number one. But he's actually the only person that's been at the company longer than I have.
Okay.
He technically is Chad number one. So there's Chad, and then there's a woman named LJ, Lindsay Johnson, or Everwine, excuse me. And she's been with us 15 or something like that. And so with the two of them, just because it felt like we were all kids
Mm,
starting this back when
sure.
we were 23, 24,
Yeah.
all of us pre-marriage, pre-kids,
Yeah.
you know, Chad and I both live in the bachelor lives. Lindsay, LJ was, bartending on the weekends, and to where we are now, it really just and the
That is
folks that are
cool.
now with us on the team,
Yeah.
we've got another group of folks that have been with us for many years now. Haley, Morgan, Jolene, just a lot of people, Peyton, and it really feels like we built a small family. And I know that's super cheesy, but
Yeah.
I don't know another way to say it.
Yeah.
Um, but without all these folks, what we do, it just couldn't happen. The fact that everybody cares, even when it's tough.
Mm,
Um, yeah, it's the people, it's the people within the company, it's the people we impact that are our clients. But these are some of the folks. And then I also just the example that my father gave running his
mm,
companies
yeah.
was huge. My sister, same deal, incredible businesswoman, and I'm going way past three, but I can't help it. So, and then my mom, everything that she did in the education world. I just had a lot of good role models and a lot of people I've been around that, frankly, have made me a success and really helped get me where I am now. And last but not least, and the most important, my wife. So without Holly, this couldn't work. A lot of sacrifices she's made, and I I appreciate, respect, and love her for everything along the way.
That's
So
awesome. That's awesome.
yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned her because I wasn't sure how I was going to nudge you to make sure that you didn't forget that.
Don't worry, I have a big note that says right here on the side, don't screw this up, Chad. I couldn't forget her. It doesn't literally doesn't work without her. So
That's
the
awesome.
business and the family and everything. So
Awesome. Hey, Chad, the path to building success also has a lot to do with continuous learning. So, what's been your biggest learning as a business owner?
big picture or like recently?
Either.
Oh boy. Recently it's been the AI piece,
Yeah.
that's for sure. You know, how to manage the rollout of AI, as a company, the messaging internally with our team.
Sure.
I mean, all of it. It's been daunting, but it's been good, but it's just been a lot.
Sure. Yeah.
Um, but big picture, since we started the company and since I've been, kind of in this role and ownership and everything, I, everything comes down to the people,
Hmm.
period.
Yeah.
Providing services, that's easy. It's not really easy, but when comparatively,
Sure.
the services, getting
Sure.
customers, all that, but like building relationships, maintaining relationships with the people on your team,
Yeah.
with the clients that you serve. I mean, everything comes down to people. You don't have a business without people,
Yeah.
and people like doing business with people. You like working with people. Super cheesy, but
Yep.
it's how to be with, manage different personalities, thrive with different personalities, and
Yeah.
yeah, I mean that's easily the hardest part, but it's also the most rewarding for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Wonderful. I love it. So,
Yeah.
as you think about the next year, what's your biggest priority that you still need to sort out or challenge you need to overcome?
Need to do another 14-day fast for sure with the holidays approaching. I know that, but that's personal. But business wise, I'd say it's a couple. It's one is we're changing our kind of digital strategy consulting account management structure around to be even more consultative and more value add. We're trying to spend more time with our clients, really
Okay.
bringing ideas. And just rolling that out though, it's just a change. And anytime
Sure.
there's change, there's
Sure.
hurdles.
Yeah. Yeah.
AI piece, I've already mentioned that 3 or 4 times, but it's not going to stop. And for the foreseeable future, it's going to be at the forefront.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, just continuing, managed growth, yeah, I'd say those are the main things.
Why is the touch points, the more interaction important to you guys?
I think it's important for a couple different reasons. Number one, it honestly, it's a little bit of protection in terms of the AI piece, letting
Hmm.
people know that like we're not just going to turn this all over to AI and
Yeah,
they're just a checkbox in the system and
sure.
they get what they get and it's robots over here doing it. Like we want to reassure people that and show the value that you're going to get better results if you have somebody that's got experience in utilizing tools like AI.
Absolutely.
So
Yeah.
it's a bit of that. Also, like we mentioned just a few minutes ago, people like talking with people, and
Yeah.
I'm going to stereotype, but most of the small businesses we work with, they're not Coca-Cola or Pepsi like we talked about.
Mhm.
They want to know who's responsible for their marketing. They want to know who to talk with, and
Yeah.
they want to hear from them. And so it's just remembering that in light of all this technology, that they're both valuable for different reasons, and we just can't lose sight of either.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing, I appreciate what you're saying because as a business owner, it can be very lonely at the top. So having somebody to be able to talk through things and explain what's going on and right and sound like and trust based on what they're saying that they have a vested interest in my business's success. That's meaningful for a small business owner, right?
I agree, and it works both ways. Everybody's going through challenges, everybody's battling things. More than half the time, you don't even know what they're dealing with.
Yeah.
But remembering that people are dealing with stuff is another big part of having, good interpersonal relations, is everybody's dealing with something that you don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, everybody's dealing with something, and it's great to bounce ideas and talk with other business folks,
Yeah.
learn what they're struggling with, what's impacting their industry, and um, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
for sure. It's almost like business therapy
Yeah.
for
Right.
it really is. It's
Yeah.
business therapy for business owners and people, you know, in that position in the
Yeah.
companies they're working at.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the for everyone listening, here's the thing, just because you could do it yourself doesn't mean you should. Right. So, right, the outsourcing to experts saves a ton of money in the long run because they've already pressure tested and trial and errored and right, they've got the learning curve that you don't have to go through on your own and right, and you can be
Yeah.
focusing on where you add the most value to your business as opposed to an area that you don't really understand, but trying to save a couple bucks.
I love that. And that's honestly a part of almost every conversation I have with anybody. And we apply it at the Web Guys. I mean, we know what we're good at. We want to
Mm,
be the best at what we are good at.
yeah,
One or two things, not 50 million things.
sure.
And it gives you
Yeah.
the ability when you trust others and you have experts, gives you the ability to scale the business. It also gives you the ability to have peace of mind and know
Yeah.
that not everything falls on you,
Yes.
which is scary if you
Yes.
really think about it.
Yeah. Fair.
And I'd say that not as somebody who has had it all figured out forever. That's been more of a like in the last few years thing that we've realized that needed to happen, and it's been great. Trusting other people to do things that they're best at is
Yeah.
is very liberating once you get past the initial shock and scare factor.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Love it. Last question, Chad. Jim Rohn, one of his famous quotes is, "We become the average of the five people that we spend the most time with." So as you think about that, what advice would you have for business owners who are feeling stuck or discouraged, but they're just trying to figure it all out on them by themselves on their own?
Oh, you need a tribe. Um, I think everybody needs a tribe, and I think they need multiple tribes. You have your personal, like your personal tribe, your business tribe, that just the
Yeah.
people in different facets of your life
Yeah.
that, you know, water rises, and you wanna do that with those folks in those different aspects of your life. But I 100% agree with that. I mean, you take on the form of the people that you spend time with and that you're with, and the more people you surround yourself with that have similar goals and aspirations, the better. And that works with everything, personal, social, business, fitness. I mean, all of it. So, yeah, I don't know if that answered your question, but I
Yeah, no,
agree.
I love
I
it.
agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm,
Yeah.
I love your perspective. Thanks for sharing. Well, it sounds like,
Welcome.
Chad, you've been blessed with some incredible people in your journey. If they were all here today, what would you want to say to them?
Well, I'd want to say thank you. And like, I'm the guy that talks to people a lot, and a lot of it gets boiled up to me, and it shouldn't, because none of this works at all without the people on the team and the people in my life that support it and frankly drive it. I'm just the guy that speaks the language, and I'm a kind of like an intermediary, but this stuff doesn't work without the people on the team, family, friends, people at the web guys. It really doesn't work. And again, a lot of this stuff sounds like the cliche stuff that you say, but it really is the truth. Like if you asked me to build a website right now, couldn't do it, but I
Sure.
but I know that we've got world-class folks on our team that can deliver on the things that I talk to people about.
Yeah.
World-class people on our digital marketing team that I trust wholeheartedly. And yeah, it doesn't work without them in any facet of life. Like you said, you're only as good as the people you surround yourself with, and you can't build a company by yourself generally. So,
Love it. Well,
so I say thank you. Sorry, that was a long-winded way to say thank you. And this is nothing without everybody's effort and work.
love it. Well, it's been a pleasure speaking today. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thanks, Tim. I appreciate you.
Thanks for listening to the Self-Made is a Myth show. Please help spread this movement by liking and subscribing to our show and following us on Facebook and LinkedIn. To join our movement, go to bemadtogether.com. Okay, folks, that's a wrap. Please pay it forward and be sure to tune in next time to the Self-Made is a Myth podcast.